and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Zon Ironshield, and welcome to Breeland. And all of my friends out there, thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, it helps me out. I know it's a little early to say it in the video, but heck, you know, might as well say it. Alright, so I want to talk about for you guys, this is for people who are newer to Lord of the Rings Online, or you need a refresher. We're going to talk about the symbols on the map for people. Like when you open your map and click M, you're like, what are all these symbols? What the heck? I have a whole video on maps, but I want to go real quick over symbols, right? Because this is really going to help you guys out. Because this is confusing stuff if you started a game for the first time. I played another game the other day, and I had the same issue in that game, and I was like, well, what are all these symbols, right? I'm like, learning the symbols. Well, hopefully I can make it a little easier, a little more streamlined for you guys within like a 10 to 15 minute video. Maybe less, we'll see. Just hang on, here we go, boom! Alright, so we're gonna start with going all the way up, right? So we know the maps, we're not gonna go all over, we're gonna mainly stay in Breeland and Breetown. First thing you need to know is at the top here, right, you can switch and go through all the maps in the world, and then there's a stable master map. You can click this, right, which this pops up, and I believe I might have shown this on a video already I've done a lot of guides, so I will check that out. I might make a video on this if you'd like, but basically this is just all the stable masters you've learned in the game. Because again, if you watch my LOTRO Tale series, which you totally should, because it's so much fun, we have so much fun together, if basically you have to click on stable masters to learn their location. Every time you see one, click it. Just once on that character, you have to click it. On every character. Stable masters look like this icon here. All right, they're all around the world, right? And there's also a new type of stable master, which is actually like a boat master, right? And if we go over here, we'll put on all icons. Oh wait, where is it? Where's my? Let me do all the filters here. There it is. See this icon right here? This little boat? Dock Master. That's a new thing in some of the areas that have a lot of water. Those are kind of, you have to, but usually I believe you know those more off the bat. Once you learn one, you can travel to the others because they don't want you to have to swim across a lake. So that's a little nicer than the normal system with horses. But, so, here's what we need to know. We're going to talk about the icons. Alright, we're going to just go through the filter. Alright, this is basically it. So you can turn things off and on with what you want to look for, because sometimes things will be covered up. Like for example, look at the Horsemaster is covered up by a bunch of other symbols right here, right? So if I clear all button, and then I go to tap Stable Master there. I'm like, oh, I can go there, and I'm the red arrow. This red arrow is always you. This is a good thing to know, everyone. See how it's spinning? You know why it's spinning? Because I'm spinning. Woohoo! Get your sick. All right, sorry, we're moving on. All right, so auction hall, right? This is an important thing to know. This is where you're gonna sell. There's 3 auction halls. Auction halls are all linked across the world of Middle-earth. In all the big towns, right? So if you sell something in one of these auction halls, it'll be in the other auction halls too, and people can buy it at those, right? Basically, they send out a letter, and they're like, hey, we're selling this here, and everyone can buy it anywhere in the world, right? So the auction hall, I have a video on how to use auction halls. If you're confused on that, check out that video, all right? And then barbershops. This is where you can change appearance, your look, your beard, your facial scratches, even like that kind of stuff. They used to not be able to do scratches and like changing stuff to your face, but they added that because, you know, some people, you know, you make your character and then later you're like, I don't really like how my character looks anymore. I don't like that scratch across his face. You know, that kind of thing. They can do plastic surgery for you. No, you get the point, right? All right, so barbers, they're all over the world, usually in big towns. Bards are usually where like minstrels, you can buy your instruments, basic instruments, for usually good for minstrels, or if you want to play instruments, I have a guide on how to use the ABC files in this game. You can use that, right? And then, but that's where you can buy instruments. There's a couple other things that sell there for certain characters. Minstrels get their class quest from them, that kind of thing. All right, right, good. So those are good to know. That's what that symbol's for. Campfires, right? Campfires are usually sites where you can sometimes cook, but usually what their main focus for is for summoning people, right? Like, and that usually a lot of times, for example, let's go over to the Misty Mountains over here and see this campfire right there. There's actually usually sometimes there's a little horn next to it, and if you click that horn, it's like a little pole with like a sign on top with like a little like horn hanging off it. You can summon your friends that are in your fellowship or your raid, all right, to that spot. So to get ready for a raid like Helagrod, right? All right, so that's what that symbol is for. And then moving on, I want to try to get through these quickly for you guys, but efficiently, so you guys can know. Crafting facilities. This is basically everywhere you can craft. Now, if you're confused like, well, that's just a lot of anvils, what if I need a specific crafting? Well, do not fret, my friends. Just take your mouse, your handy dandy mouse, and hover them. Haha, look at that. It says it's an oven. This one says it's a bunch of things. It's inside a building. There's a study, a workbench, an oven, a forge. Again, these are for different crafting positions. A forge you need for doing a lot of metals, like swordsmithing, metalsmithing, for armor, that kind of stuff. A study is for like if you're being a it's a not a lore master. That's the class. Yes, it's the study one. I'm sorry. I'm totally drawing a blank on that. But if you look through the crafting video I made, I talk about that. The workbench, that's for like tailors and for woodsmiths and that kind of things. Oven is for a cook, right? That kind of stuff. So those are crafting facilities, right? That's what that is. Crafting vendor, these guys have special resources that they'll sell for different novices. See, that one is actually, see how when I hover it, it shows so many things? It's because it's telling you that's actually a doorway you go into that building, and those are all inside that building. Okay? All right, good, good, good. All right, so Dockmaster, that is the same thing I already showed you, right? Dockmasters are only, you know, in certain areas there's a lot of water, which in like Evandim, right, there's the Dockmasters, good, good. There actually are no Dockmasters in Bree. That makes sense, right? There's just a tiny pond outside. So that's why when I have that selected here, it does not show up. All right, and then Eagle. All right. Again, there's no eagles in Bree. These are things that you will find in this area, the Vales of Anduin, right? Anduin, the Vales of Anduin, right? All right, so this is where they would be. They're at the Karak. They're actually, I think, a spot where you can take a ride or talk to them for different quests. No, sadly, you do not get to ride them with flying over the terrain. It's just fast teleport. I know, I was disappointed too. But maybe they'll do that in the future and make it a ride. All right, so faction representatives, right? These are people that you can turn in items that you get that will say, the items will say that they can be turned in for faction rewards and stuff. And like for reputation, that's what these guys are for. You can also buy stuff from them for being a certain level of reputation. Usually, depending on where you are, that's the people they're for, right? So reputation for Bree, right? And I did a guide video on reputation already, a little bit, I believe. Right here. If I didn't, you know what? I might make one. I don't think I have a full guide on it. It's just a little mention in one of my videos. But so here's the guide, right here. These are reputations, right? So if I type up here at the top, I can type Bree, right? So I'm actually Kindred. That is the highest level of thing. So I can't actually go increase that anymore. But if I had items, either if you had a reputation item in your thing, you'd click it and you'd be able to immediately get the reputation to go over your head, like adding reputation, or it might be an item you actually turn in at one of these guys, or you buy rewards from them. So that's what those guys are for. There's a couple other things they have too. You can always check them out. This is more for a basic video for you guys starting the game. Far-ranging stable master. All right. So basically, this is a special stable master that will take you very, very far. So this is actually a special one they have for an event for getting to the far north of Gundabad, where the war, basically the war has started with the dwarves and orcs, where we are in the story right now, because we're actually past Lord of the Rings books. So that's kind of cool, right? On the main server. If you want to start play the legendary server, we basically go backwards, and we're starting at level 50 again right now on Treebeard and Shadowfax, which I am doing. If you guys want to join me, I'm playing on those servers, and that LOTRO Adventure playlist, you can check that out too on this channel. Fellow. All right, this is if you're in a fellowship, right? You'd see your little friends' dots, little green dot, if they're in your fellowship of 6 people. And if they're your fellowship leader, they'll have this dot, right? You're not going to see them right now with me, and you'll always be the triangle, this red triangle. That's you, okay? Good, good, good. These will also work for raids. They're just your leader will always be this color, and your members will be this in the raid, okay? Item Master. This is the guy that basically, for legendary items, I have a video on legendary items if you want to check it out, but it's what you get at level 60 in Moria. When you or it's just past 50 actually when you start getting your legendary items, like 51, 52. But they're how you recraft them, refine them, put stuff in them, that kind of stuff. That's what you'll need for that. Mailboxes. These are mailboxes. If you're free to play, you're going to have to go get your mail from these. Whenever you buy or sell something in the auction house, it'll pop up in your mailbox, and you have to go get it, right? Or if something expires and didn't sell, it'll go back to your mailbox, that kind of thing, right? That's what those are for. If you are a premium member, you can always go, or you pay for your subscription on LOTRO, you're not free to play, you can always go to social and click this, and you'll automatically be able to access your mailbox without an actual mailbox. Just a little bit of an extra benefit if you pay for the subscription. But still, you can go access your mail for free to play any of the mailboxes, and they're all over the world. Milestones, we talked about those at the beginning of the video, right? We know what those do. Points of interest, you learn these over time, okay? So you can hover them, and tells you, like, the prancing pony, right? I've been there. If I had not been there, it would not show up. It would be blank. There'd be no points of interest if I hadn't come and breathed that. Sometimes you'll know things automatically, but usually you have to learn them. You walk up to them and you discover it, and then that flag will forever stay on your character's map. Your character, not your whole account, your character, right? Whoever you learned that spot on. Just like the stable masters, right? Same thing. Same way it works. Reflecting pool. This is a way you can go back and do chapter story quests, I believe. That's the main thing for that. I don't use it very often, but I believe that's what it's for. There's usually one in a big town or place. It's kind of like a Gladria pool kind of idea, right? That's like the logic of the lore behind it for us for the game. Sale Masters, we talked about Sale Masters. Tasks. These are basically where you can turn in your tasks. We talked about that. I have a guide on that already, a video on that. You want to check it out. That's where you turn in your items, right? In fact, I can show you it real quick. We'll just right over to it real fast. And then the town crier. I actually have not used the town crier almost ever because I haven't done it. So we're just gonna go look at it real quick and I'll explain it to you. Because I don't want to give you info that will be bad for a brand new player. I try to be very accurate and quick with these videos. I don't want you to spend hours watching a how-to video, but at the same time, I don't want to give you... Yes, that's the task board. This is basically where you'll pick up your barter items for doing the tasks that I said I don't do a lot, and I just sell the items usually because they sell for a lot of silver. But you can come here, and basically what you can do with it, it gives you more reputation towards... As another way to get reputation, right? All right, good, 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 good. And then this person right here is the town crier here. All right, basically what this guy is...
Greetings.
I guess... Oh, you know what? This guy just tells you where places are.
What do you need?
All right. And yes, I believe he just gives you information. So he's good for that. You can go to the town guy. He'll give you information. All right, so now we know what that is. The traders. Traders are basically, again, trader, not traitor, please. I said that right. Okay, you get it. These people are all sorts of specialty things usually. So either like for over here we have the collector, the fishing taxidermist, the taxidermist for regular animals. Over here we have the legendary traders. So these are usually for legendary items, right? These are not your class trainers. These are your legendary item trainers, right? Or they're for legendaries. Because again, they kind of grow with you. Your legendary items, like this axe on my back. These guys, again, so these are also specialty people. So these are featured challenge reward vendor. So these are special vendors that give you reward challenges.
These are troublesome times indeed.
For certain things, you earn these coins. You can turn them in at these guys for certain events. All right. So that's basically all these are. These blue ones, they're specialty things. And out here, usually they're also they also for skirmish camp. So this is a skirmish camp, which I have a whole video on skirmish camps. Check that one out in the same playlist. But that's what these are for. They're also just specialty things. They're not normal ones, right? All right, moving on. So there are kind of a lot of different things. The trader, trainer. Make sure we do these words right? Trainer is basically where your class trainer is, or learning your crafting. So like in the crafting hall, it's got the master of crafting guild and master of apprentices. That's where you'll actually learn to become a certain crafting, right? Your burglar trainer, captain, guardian trainer, all those kind of trainers, those are all in these different places, right? And those are basically, used to be you'd have to go and get your new abilities, but now they'll just pop in your they'll pop into your skill tab, and also now they will when you with your trait tree, which I have videos on trait trees, you'll earn skills too with what you're putting your trait points into. So, but they are good things, like for example for guardians, you can go and buy shield spikes that you can put on your shield and check them out. For whatever your class you are, go check them out real quick. It is good to know. And then Vault Keeper, this is just your guy that has 3 different things. They're hooked across the entire world of Middle Earth. There is the bank, which you can put your stuff in, and I'll just show you real quick so you don't get confused. So there's a vault in this house here. If you can't find it outside and you're right on top of it, it's probably inside a building, right? So you just walk in a door. Usually they always load into the building. Okay, we're in here, so let's find them real quick. See, and by the way, you can do the same thing I'm showing you with the filters. You can right-click on the map up here and see all your filters right here, right? It's a really good thing. We'll go through that real quick too on the same video because I want. Okay, here it is. That's the symbol, right? And here's the symbol on the mini map and the map, right? It's that one right there. So we talk to him. Here's what he's got. He's got a shop where you can buy the coins, which doesn't really have much use, but I guess it's just kind of for fun. There's probably some things you can trade it with. People know what that is for. Leave a comment. Like, I've never used it, and I played this game since it started. Open vaults. All right, so the vault is basically you can add more space over time. I already have pretty much all I can add with I'd have to use turbine or standing stone points, LOTRO points. But normally there's a button here that lets you add room with money. This is basically you can just put whatever you want in your vault. It's usually stuff that's bound to you, right, to your character only. Then there's 2 other things that you can open too. You can switch to him here, or when you click on him again, you can go to shared storage.
What can I do for you?
This is across your entire account on that server, right? So like if you're on the server of Crick Hollow, like I am, all this stuff can be seen by all your characters. You will only be able to put in stuff that is either not bound to your individual character or bound to your account. So if it's bound to your account, you can put it in your shared storage because your other characters can use it. If it's bound to me, Zolin, I won't be able to put it in my shared storage. And then there's one more called the wardrobe. And basically what this is these are just I put anything in here, whether it be cosmetic or a real cloak. I use mine for cloaks, or a couple other things. But you could do any kind of armor. And these are things that you can always use to pull over into your outfit cosmetics and drop them in, right? You can always drop them in, and you can like change their colors and stuff, and then you can get rid of the item and not have to keep it. And then these you can actually take and change colors too. Like you can add colors to them right here, so you can change their color when you take them out to put on your stuff. All right, so that's the Vault Keeper. Now we know that. All right, we're gonna go back out here, and then the last thing is vendors. We talked about vendors in a video I just put up recently for brand new people. But vendors are a couple different things. They are basically just There's so many different things that are vendors, right? Usually the biggest vendors you're going to use as a brand new player is a supplier and a provisioner, right? These are people that you can sell random crap to that's in your inventory, excuse my one word, that you can sell in your inventory and that you can do repairs. So that's what those are for. And then Clerk of Kinships is where you start a kinship. Notary is where you get your last name at level 15. You can do both at level 10 and 15, I believe. You can do a surname, basically. And then, yeah, and then there's a bunch of other things here too. Housebroker, which is, these are all different things. Housebroker, I did my housing video. You know, if you want to check that out, that'll tell you about housebrokers. Yep, another supplier there at the front. Suppliers are all over. A grocer, same thing. You can buy stuff from him and sell and repair. Right, so that's what that is. That's vendors. So now you pretty much know. You pretty much know all the icons on the map, you guys. You are experts at this point, right? Like, experts. You're so expert now that you can click that like and subscribe button for me. Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, and then go over here in the filters at the top, just to quickly do an overview of the mini map here. The little, we call this like the mini, yeah. I like to call it like the mini map or the map in the top right. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It's like your little compass map. So if you right click up here, you go through again, auctioneer. I'm going to show you all the things that weren't on the main map, right? So most of these things are on the main map. This one is not. This crafting resource is basically when you learn a craft to collect stuff in the wild, you can turn this ability on. For mine, I'm a miner, so I can click this. And then whenever there's one on the mini map here, I can see it. You won't be able to see them on the big map, but you will be able to see them on this. So that's what that is, right? For the filters on there. Enemy, if you have this on, you can see enemy dots moving around, like NPCs and stuff. That's one that's not on the main map, but it's on there. Fellowship shared tracking. This is someone, if someone tracks something in the Fellowship, like a hunter, or it's something in the group, that'll show that as what your Fellowship's looking at to attack. Pet. Lore Masters, Captains, this will be their pet that follows them around. You can have that on. It kind of shows where they are on the mini-map above you. They're usually right next to their leader, though, so there's really no point. Quests, this is something you won't see on the main map, but this is basically where you'll turn in quests or find quests that you have or have not done yet, or to turn in, and they'll be on your mini-map. Quest Escort, this is a little guy that you're like protecting or like getting him through a safety of like an NPC, or like protecting him while he travels or something. He'll be that on the map. Quest Failure. Okay, so this quest failure, this is if you're doing like one of the Hobbit quests in Hobbiton, where you have to like sneak the mail without nosy hobbits seeing you. That will be them on the mini map. They'll be this eye, so you've got to do big circles around them. Okay, so that's what that is. Reflecting pool, we know. Selected target, that's just whatever you have clicked on. If you've clicked on something, it will actually see it shows up as that little selected thing. And again, it'll show a little arrow too, usually what you're clicked on, and then there'll be a circle around the object technically. Well, it doesn't always happen, but it depends on what you're clicked on. But yeah, so that's what that thing is right there. Selected object. And then if we keep going down, we know all this tracked target. This is another thing. Oh, so this is what hunters track, actually. The Fellowship shared tracking is something what the leader designates to track, I think. This is something a hunter tracks, this red one. And then everything else you saw on the main map except for warbands. That is an event thing that's usually on the map somewhere around level 195, right? So that'll be on your mini map here, but not on the main world map. All right. I have exhausted my brain and mouth doing this video for you. I hope that it helped you out. I am always happy to help my friends out there in the Middle Earth. I'm your host and guide, Zolin Ironshield. You have a wonderful day. I'm sorry this went a few minutes longer, but I think it had really good info. I feel like I went over things good. Again, thank you to my Patreon. If you want to support me, there's links in the description. But you know what really supports me if you want to just support me freely? Hit that like button. And subscribe if you got through that video. Check out our main playlist, LOTRO Tale, right here. And our next video up there on the top left for this playlist. And I will see you in the Middle Earth, my friends. Have a wonderful day.